We're joined once again by Chad Ever, the owner of Ever Studios, with us once again on the Oakland County MegaCast. Chad, thank you for being with us today.
Tyler, good to be with you.
Yeah, good to see you. Good to
How are
hear
things
you.
going?
Going well over here. How are you doing?
Things are going well, actually. Keeping busy and working with a lot of businesses. So,
Chad, for those that aren't familiar with who you are and the services that you offer, explain exactly all of the things that you can do to help a business.
yeah, for sure. So I am co-founder of Ever Studios, and what we do, we are a digital creative agency. So we're talking about, website design, advertising, social media management, but also going into retail stores and helping them fix their processes to be more productive. So we have a training department, we have a creative department, and we do all of these things as one solution to help small businesses, medium businesses, pull ahead away from the rest, and during these times, survive and thrive.
You've definitely been a good partner to us here at Civic Center TV and our Carry Out Club. What's the biggest piece of advice that you've been offering to businesses during this pandemic?
As odd as it may sound, the thing that I'm finding most businesses need to do, and some are actually willing to do, is actually investing in their processes and investing in their online presence. Right now is a time where we are a bit slower in retail, and it's a great time to get those solutions in place so that when we start to return to a regular rate of people coming in and buying, we are streamlined and automated as best we can. So going in and teaching people how to do sales effectively and how to actively listen to their customers. These are things that can be implemented with the right strategy. And that's our goal. Our goal is to make sure that the business is producing the best they can with the people they have. Unfortunately, a lot of people have had to step back and aren't able to work right now. And, you may go to a retail shop that normally would have 5 people and they're down to 3 or 2. Well, they're still carrying that same workload. So if they have the automation systems and processes in place, they can be really effective even with a smaller staff. So to answer your question, the number one thing I would say is it's okay to invest in your business right now. It's okay to, take a step back and look at what you're doing and say, this could be fixed, or bring somebody on to take a look, get a fresh pair of eyes from an outside source to take a look at your processes and your business and help make it more effective.
How important has social media been during this time for businesses?
Social media is important all the time, but right now, what people need to know is that they're cared for, and that if they're going to do business with you, that you're going to be taking every step and measure possible. And by doing social media, you can continually put that message out there in different creative ways, but still reassure and gain trust from the public. So right now, I would say it's more important than it's ever been. Before, it was about sales. Right now, it's about showing that you care, you're there for them, and you're supporting your community.
One of the things that I've noticed, some of these businesses maybe are smaller or old school owners. They may have like a website, but they're not social media savvy, or if they do have social media, they're not consistently updating it. A lot of them, I'm always like, I need a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old to help me. So where can, like a company like yours, how would you advise them, and what platforms do you go on as well? Because it's like the platforms are changing weekly. You have a demographic that may be for Facebook users and another one for Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat. Those are totally different worlds. What about that?
Advising businesses, whether they're doing old school methods or they're they're doing some grassroots efforts and they're a little more hip to the audience, you have to figure out who your target is. Facebook is going to be about working with your community and, connecting with local, where Instagram's going to be more about storytelling, visual storytelling. And both can be effective for a business, but not both are the right solution to start with. You don't necessarily have to have a teenager or somebody come in and do it for you. Once you have a process in place, you could sit down on Monday, get all of your posts done for the entire week, and you've only invested an hour worth of time. But with the right training, anybody can do it.
Chad Ever, owner of Ever Studios, a consulting agency offering great advice to businesses during this time. We have to go ahead and touch a little bit on the mask requirement, because this has been a huge issue for every single business out there. What are you hearing from businesses and employees and business owners about this and their concerns, and what advice are you giving to them?
Locally, I would say that most businesses, they're not really digging their feet in too much. They want to reopen as quickly as possible, and they're not really having too many issues with their employees. It's really the public coming in and having that tough conversation of, you actually can't enter, we can't work with you right now unless you follow the guidelines. And a lot of businesses were proactive with this. They were doing this at the very beginning, and that's great. But their employees were already accustomed and used to doing it. Some businesses were open throughout the entire time. So I'm seeing a mix. Most business owners and the managers that are working there, they really just want to have people coming in and doing business with them. It's just tough with that conversation when somebody comes in thinking that they don't have to or that they're better than. That's a tough conversation to have. But if you have your scripts in place and you know how to have that conversation, it's all about how you deliver it. And you can deliver it in a way that shows care and compassion versus, a confrontation. So I would advise folks, take a few minutes, sit down, put together, a nice script, coach with your entire team, and make sure that it's delivered every time. And if an issue arises, you can escalate that up to the next person and can eventually get to the manager if need be. But with the right script, I think that a lot of people are going to say, I just forgot about it. Let me run and grab it. And it's going to be a non-issue. A lot of businesses have adapted to a curbside method as well, which is also super helpful.
Every business has had to adapt, and retail outlets are one thing, but in an industry such as yours, sales or even consulting, where you rely on those personal interactions and those relationships, how have you adapted, and what advice do you give to people that are in your type of industry or sales or consulting, especially people that aren't tech savvy?
Yeah, that's a great question. For us, we actually even before this, we were doing a lot of our business via the internet. So, because we have clients all over the place. We have clients in Colorado and Florida and New Jersey and all over. So for us, we were remote already for a lot of what we did. But when we do have to work locally with our businesses, we do our best to try and make them comfortable. It's not about me as a business owner. It's about them and making sure that they feel comfortable, but they also understand the value that we're providing. So those conversations usually go, what can we do to help you? How can we support you? And what makes you most comfortable? And in these agency-style businesses, there are meetings that have to happen in person. And we just adapt, go to an open place, meet at a park instead of a coffee shop. Those are the things that are going to help them feel best and gain trust the most.
So we're talking with Chad Ever, owner of Ever Studios. I have to ask you, are you in your office or are you at home right now? Because I'm looking at that foosball table, and I think we need to have a game here in the future. Definitely
in the office. We have a nice chill area upstairs. There's a ping pong table to my right. Just a nice chill area. Yeah, it's upstairs of the office. So, yeah, stop by anytime.
It looks like such a fun place to work. Before I let you go, though, I do want to ask you, how do you think, or what permanent changes for businesses do you think is going to come out of this pandemic, both for the positive and for the negative?
We're definitely seeing a trend right now, even beforehand, of business offices downsizing. a lot of people working remotely. And what we found is that it's possible. And a lot of people feel more productive working in an environment that is less structured. Google's been doing this for ages, where they've been throwing beanbag chairs and providing food. And we all see these really cool workspaces. But at the end of the day, the people who are working for us, they are the pros in what they do. Otherwise, we wouldn't have hired them. And so we have to have trust and faith that they're going to do what needs to get done for the greater good for the business. Now, negatively, I think that there is going to be a long road ahead until people are fully comfortable. So I don't think that there's going to be a return to normal. There is going to be this new normal, but I think we're really conscious about how we have been cleaning and the steps we have to do to protect ourselves, our employees, but also the public when they're coming in and meeting with us. So if anything, we're going to be adapting ways, but it's all coming from learning from the experience. It may stink, right? It might be tough having to deal with everything, but if we take it as an educational opportunity, we can grow as individuals, as a community, and of course as business owners to really impact the community in a great way.
Such great advice. Anything that you want to add before we let you go today?
There's somewhere you want me to stand. You're totally fine right there.
All right, we have Erica Jones popping in the background. Just a moment there, Chad, if you can restart your answer here.
Yep. So the last bit of advice I have is it's okay to invest into your business right now. There are a lot of programs out there to help supplement and support financially for business owners. But with a lot of people operating at 30%, take a look back. Look at your website. Have you redone it in the last 12 months? What do the processes look like? Can you start to eliminate some steps by adding automation? Those are the things that we here at Ever Studios can definitely help business owners do. But at the very least, on your own, take a look and see what you can do to streamline your business. It's okay to make changes right now because we will come out of this together and we will come out stronger.
Chad, thank you very much for being with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Chad Ever, owner of Ever Studios, with us on the Oakland County MegaCast.